Disability is not inability. Everyone is born with a talent that needs to be identified, supported and nurtured. Welcome to yet another exciting edition of Proudly Able, a program that brings to you inspiring stories of persons with disabilities. And today we're in the city of kings and queens, Kobulawayo Nguboyenja, with Mr. John Munetsi Jemwa, who was born blind, but because of the grace of the Lord, he became partially sighted.
My name is John Munetsi Jemwa, the last born of the late John Mpariwa Jemwa and Jessica Jemwa. I was born on 18 May 1986. I was born totally blind, but by grace of God I became partially sighted. I was operated by an American doctor by the name Dr. Young. I was about 4 or 5 months old. Then I remained blind. After all it had been said that I'm not going to ever see. My mother went to church, then the priest said, let's fast and pray. If you feel that God will bring eyesight, the eyesight will come. So first day nothing happened, second day nothing happened, then on the third day I became partially sighted. And from then, I think I was now around 9-10 months or so, I started to see a bit up to today.
John Munetsi Jemwa was born blind, but now he is partially sighted through the grace of the Lord. He is an enterprising man, and through his hard work, he met his wife and got married. They were blessed with 4 children.
I'm married. I have 4 kids and one passed away.
Inini na Mr. Jemwa takasangana muno muGuvenja, sokuti ndakakurira muno muGuvenja. Iye aidzidza kwaJiri, saka munhu anofarira kuita mushandi wemaoko. Saka panenge ndichitengesawo zvinhu zvangu takasanganawo, ndobva tatauriranawo, ndobva tadanana.
All my kids, one is visually impaired. She's learning at Maketen Primary School.
Muhombe, it's Form 2, ari kuenda kuMpopo Mahai. And then kotevera musikana mumwe ari kuita grade 3, kozoguma nemumwe asati aenda kuchikoro.
Maybe this issue of problem of eyesight originates from my father's side, because even within our family, some are actually wearing spectacles.
Despite being partially sighted, John attended integrated schools for his primary and secondary education.
I then went to school. Grade 1, I was taken to Daamombe Primary in Chivu, Chikumba district. Then I went for Form 1 at Daamombe Secondary School. When I was in Form 1, third term, that's when my father passed away. Then I was later transferred to Murewa High, which is also an integrated school. After Murewa High, I came to Jairos Jiri Vocational Training Center. I did secretarial studies. Then when I did secretarial studies, that's when I fell in love in residing in Bulawayo. I just felt that Bulawayo was good. I didn't even want to go for holiday when I was a student. Then I ended up residing in Bulawayo.
John Jemwa relocated to Bulawayo due to the stigmatization he faced among his own family, although he received a lot of support from his mother.
Coming to Bulawayo, living Harare, when I was around 17 years old, it wasn't easy to stay home. So I ended up feeling that, coming back to Bulawayo was going to be the best one for my mother, because as you know, in most of our families, a disabled child is the mother's child. It's the mother's child in the way that when a disabled is born, there is normally conflict of acceptance. The mother accepts disability far ahead of the father. The father will be saying, this is from your own rural. That's where you get this child. It's not mine. So some of us, when we grew up in noticing that my mother is the best thing and is the person who loves me most. To the extent that she even lost a lot of things because of me. Even to receive some gifts which other mothers are getting from their own children. It's hard because they always say, if we give you this thing, when you die, you leave it with your disabled child. So I grew up actually noticing that stigma starts within our homes. Actually, it's the most painful stigma that can ever exist. The one that is from the outside community is actually better than the one that is within the homes that we are.
After he finished his secretarial studies, John ventured into vending businesses, and he was not satisfied by being a vendor, so he kept on researching on how he can grow his business.
December 2008, I became a vendor. I started to buy goods from Harare, bring them to Bulawayo, sell.
Jemwa munhu aifarira kuuya kuna mama vangu achivabvunza mibvunzo yakawanda kuti shopu makaiwana sei ende makaachieve zvamese zvamakaachivha makazviachivha sei. Ari munhu aida mazano. Neno ndikamuona ari munhu anoda zvekushanda asingadi zvekupema. Saka izvozvo zvakandimotivata. Plus neruzivo rwaiva naro especially pabusiness. I learned a lot. Ndakadzidza zvakawanda.
Currently we are selling groceries which we are buying from various wholesalers around Bulawayo.
John now operates a grocery shop at Ngoboyenja shops, and he keeps on pushing himself to scale greater heights. It is his wish to leave a legacy that defies his disability.
Even though we have limitations of disability, but I have to do something that the whole country, that the whole community will see me even long after I have gone. We will see and believe that with effort, support, persons with disabilities can achieve things which are way beyond the limitations which they may have due to their inabilities brought by disability.
Ndingangoti magrocery ndo akatisimudza kuti tisvike patiri nhasi, kuti tisvike kwana mobile kitchen. Takaiwana through kuita zvemagroceries. Takatanga nemari shoma tichiisapo, tikafunga kuti chikafu chinhu chinodiwa on a daily basis, chinodiwa nemunhu wese. Saka kana tikaita chikafu chinhu chinoda kutengwa navanhu every day, tinogonawo kuti tiwane a living, tiendese vana kuchikoro, tiwane chekupfeka, tiwane kubhadharawo marentals.
John has encountered a lot of challenges along the way, but he has soldiered on to be where he is today. He wants people to recognize him as Mr. Jemwa, not just that blind person.
I now have to go beyond and go beyond to the level that even if someone is to see me out, he will recognize me as Mr. Jemwa, not recognize me as a blind person. He will see Jemwa ahead of the disability that he has. After we had come and rented a place in the shop, we saw that no, the community is supporting. We then thought of being about a mobile kitchen. It was like a dream because the amounts that were being involved when we were told, when we were doing our inquiries, we were being told amounts that were ranging to 1,800, 2,500 US for that thing to be there, and we didn't have the money, but we soldiered on as we had a vision until we managed to bring about the mobile kitchen. And it is our hope and trust that it will go a long way to change our lives.
With the little profit they realize from their business, the Jemwas help the needy and underprivileged in their community.
He is a very hard-working guy actually. Munhu anofarira kushanda nevamwe, anofarira kubatsirawo vamwe as you work together kana pakaita machallenges yemve pavanogonawo kubatsira napo.
Handina kuzoona disability yake nenyaya yekuti munhu anoda kusocialize nevanhu vakawanda, whether able bodied kana kuti ane disability. Munhu anoda kupinda mune magroup akawanda achitaura nevanhu vakawanda.
Where there is abundance in motherly love, things will never fail. We're taking a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our second segment of Proudly Able, where we're still being inspired by John Munetsi Jemwa, who is an enterprising young man. He believes in eating the fruit of his sweat despite his disability.
In the small business that we are doing, my wife, she's my eyes, she's my strength, she's my support. She's actually the driving factor behind the new project that we want to venture into, because she did hotel and catering, but because she's physically disabled, she was never given an opportunity to exploit a gift in cooking. Hence, I ended up thinking that the kitchen would be the best way to say, show to the world what you can do.
Pamobile kitchen ndakaiona chiri chinhu chakanaka nokuti ndakaita hotel and catering kuZimbabwe College, ndikaita sit and guilds, ndikanyora iri sit and guilds. Asi ndakazoona kuti zvekushanda kuvanhu because of disability chirayo isina kukura zvinotinetsei.
It is said behind every successful man there's a supportive wife, and this is true to John, who has a loving and supportive wife who does not see his disability.
I just say it's by grace of God that sometimes God will just have his own ways of joining people, because the way we met and the way we ended up understanding and assisting each other up to today is beyond measure. To me, she understood a disability way even ahead of myself.
The disability vera ndinamboiona nokuti neniwo futi I'm used to disability nokuti ndakakurirawo mumhuri nedisability, saka hazvina kundinetsa kuti ndibvume kudanana naye kana kuti tive tinotanga musha tiri tese nokuti munhu anogona kusocialize nevanhu.
John do not believe in failing due to his disability. To him, it is a small hindrance which can be removed when there is a will to do so.
When I look at my disability and disability at large, I don't see disability as a total inability. I just see disability as a small hindrance or a small barrier which can actually be removed by the person who is in disability. To take, for instance, dependency syndrome is in everyone, both those with disabilities and those without. You can actually be dependent to someone. You can actually be lazy, because to work hard, you have to sweat. So as a person with a disability, I strongly feel that before you see the limitations of your own disability, see the life beyond the disability that you have. Like I myself, I know that I have potential to run a sustainable business. I may have limitations, but the limitations will be addressed whilst I have shown, I have demonstrated, because there must be zeal to demonstrate, to say, let me show. Then the corporate world, the individuals who can come to support my vision, they then come and support my vision.
As he's trying to build a legacy for mwiri yakeo, aka upgrade awo akagadzirisa there is chicaravan chiri panze paya paya. He's trying to do something chiri better than what he's doing right now.
In order to expand his business, John looked for a business to venture into which he could easily set up with little capital. He then thought of a mobile kitchen rather than establishing a restaurant after realizing a gap in the fast food business at Nguboyenja shopping center.
When we brought about the idea of having a mobile kitchen, we were driven by a number of factors. We looked on the acquiring side. We saw that it's not easy, it wasn't an easy task for us to acquire or to establish a restaurant. So we ended up seeing that no, within the communities in Bulawayo, there are mobile kitchens, mobile caravans. So we later investigated and saw that no, all these mobile caravans, they are actually takeaways. We had about 2,000 US. We met a guy by the name Mr. Zaka. Mr. Zaka then said, Mr. Jemwa, I do make mobile kitchens, but my mobile kitchens, I want 1,600 US dollars. After manufacturing the kitchen, we were told that it's supposed to go to VID for fitness. We took it for fitness. Then after that, we went to Jemwa, we did the registration. Then we went to Zinar. Then it was registered. Then after that, we went to City Council. And then we requested that as our local authority, we are requesting a complimentary from you as far as our efforts is concerned as persons with disabilities, for us to be self-reliant. Then we got a very favorable response from the town clerk's office. We support your ideas. We are doing a report that is going to full council in August. Then after that, I was referred to the town planning department. I saw the town planner, Mr. Siziva. He supported and said a site is going to be created at Nguboyenja shopping center. They told us that there is a health inspection fee from the Department of Town Planning. We were told that there is also going to be advertisements that are supposed to be done, followed by council administration fees, lease administration fees, then followed by council health inspection, then council licenses. Then we also notified on some important things which they require, which include proper equipment, catering equipment for the caravan, a water tank, a toilet that is going to be used by the people who will be running the caravan and the customers that will be coming. So this is what we were basically informed.
Staying focused is the key to success. And Mr. Jemwa's zeal has brought him where he is today, running a grocery shop and working on a mobile kitchen. We're taking a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome to our third and final segment of Proudly Able. Blessed is the hand that gives than the hands that receive it. Jemwa extends his hand in helping the less privileged in his community, despite the little he gets.
Shoni munu kuti kana tichishanda is a hard worker. At times anofarira kubatsira vamwe vanhu here and there munhu anoshanda nenzira inorwadza, but isusu pakufambidzana kwedu ini nangu andioni difference kuti munhu asingaoni. Tingati kubati kudzvinyirira hana munhu wekuti mukati muri kuorganize chinhu chinongobuda chiri chinhu chemunoita sei maorganizer.
Blessed is the hand that gives than the hand that receives. And truly, Mr. Jemwa's fruits of his hands are always blessed. He is looking forward to the operation of his mobile kitchen in the very near future.
We were thinking of doing chips, gango and so on inside. So we are supposed to have the equipment, the gas equipment that does the preparation of the food that we are thinking of. And we're also having a vision of doing sausages, because we want to concentrate more on roasted items instead of boiled things. So we're thinking of having a sausage maker, so that we'll be able to make sausages, and then we cook the same sausages that we make at the same time.
However, John Jemwa still faces a number of challenges which he hopes to overcome and start operating his mobile kitchen.
We don't have a deep freezer, a gas deep freezer, for the purposes of keeping the food, the perishables, safe. If we manage to get council administration fees plus advertisement fees, which are amounting to $500, the caravan will get all the papers from City Council. Then after that, that is then when we are also required now to have at least one mobile toilet for the customers and for the person operating the caravan. A small sink inside and a water tank.
John Jemwa wishes to travel to Victoria Falls together with his family.
Given a chance to travel, the place that I always dream to be with my family is Victoria Falls. Being one of the 7 wonders of the world, I strongly want to feel the environment there, to feel the sound of the water going down the cliff, to be there and to say, in my lifetime, I have been in Victoria Falls.
John is inspired by the Mayendele Brothers' music.
My favorite musicians are the Mayendele Brothers. They inspire me from long back. The music from Mayendele Brothers, it uplifts my spirit, and it makes me happy even if I'm sad.
John Jemwa is also inspired by the Sakunda boss, Mr. Kudakwasheta Gwirei, and it is his wish to meet him.
Besides music, there's the Sakunda CEO, Sakunda Energy CEO, Kudakwasheta Gwirei. He inspires me a lot, because when he started his business, everything was very small. But it grew and grew until it has reached where it is today. So being given a chance, I really wish to meet Mr. Kudakwasheta Gwirei, because he's someone that has inspired me since long back.
John has words of advice to parents of children and persons with disabilities.
Let me start with parents with the children with disabilities. They mustn't live with their children inside, confining them within their homes. They must allow the children with disabilities to go out and mix and mingle with the able-bodied ones, so that they grow up normal. Because if you confine your child inside your own home, the day that you take that child out, you will never see the normality that he has or that she has. Then coming to persons with disabilities, I have a word that dependent syndrome will never be the best option of survival. We must always work hard and prove beyond reasonable doubt that there is potential that lies within our disabilities.
Kune vamwe vakadzi vangaona kana kuti munhu wechirume ane disability vagodzokera mumashure kuti ndingadanani naye, kana kuti hazvingaiti, kana kuti zvinonyadzisa. Kwandiri ndona unge chakakosha pamunhu ndechiri maari ndo chakakosha, than appearance yemunhu kunze kana kuti ane disability yakaita sei. Inini what I loved is the strength husband yangu yainayo, ndiyo yandinoona chiri chinhu chikuru chatinofanirwa kutarisa.
Success and achievement follow those that work hard. Mr. Jemwa has defied all odds in setting and running his business so that he could see his vision achieved. With that, we've come to the end of this edition of Proudly Able. Hope you've been inspired by Mr. John Munetsi Jemwa's story. If you've got a story that you'd like to share with us, please feel free to get in touch with our producers on 0717 45 92 92. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, Proudly Able Zim, our YouTube channel, Proudly Able Zim. From me, Ratizo Mchairi, John Jemwa, the crew behind the scenes, stay blessed. Goodbye.